y'all, and welcome back to the studio. And today we are talking about a project that gave me a run for my money, and that is faux stained glass making. Now, I wanted to jump headfirst into this project. I really did. When the idea came to my mind to do this project, I was like, I've got to do it right away. I have this specific thing in my brain that I just have to get out, and I just have to create it right this minute. So this project, oh my gosh, it took me 3 times, yes, 3 attempts at this project to get it somewhat of a way that I liked. Now, to start with, I was jumping into this and I had no idea how to do this. Of course, that's what I do with most of my projects. I just jump into things that I have no idea what I'm doing and I just kind of guess along with it. But for this one, I knew I wanted to do something naturey. I knew I wanted something that I could display in my home. And I knew I wanted flowers. I knew that I wanted nature, I wanted flowers, I wanted something ornate and pretty. So the first attempt I did at this, I don't have the footage of it, unfortunately, but I was trying to do a fox, and that did not turn out how I wanted. I didn't have a large enough picture. I was not working from a pattern. I was just kind of going off of what I saw and was just trying to attempt to do it that way. That did not work. So then I jumped over to Etsy and I found a pattern that I really liked for stained glass. I will link that shop down below because the pattern that I purchased was very, very pretty. And you know, shout out to small creators over on Etsy. So I will have their shop linked down below in the description, and I will also be sure to tag them in this video. So I jumped over to Etsy, I bought a pattern off of that from a small creator, and then I just kind of jumped into making a faux stained glass window. And what I did is I took a piece of glass from a frame that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and that is what I was going to use for making this project. All I did was slide my pattern underneath it, and what you do is actually you go over the top of the pattern with your paint, and then when you're done with it, you flip it over so that the paint is within the paper side in the backing of the frame so that it is displayed afterwards. Unfortunately for me, I got my measurements wrong. This was a 9x13 frame, and when I went to print it, it came out a little bit smaller, so it didn't fit the frame. And I thought, oh well, that won't be an issue. It'll be fine. I will come up with something to decorate the borders with. But once I actually started on this, I realized after the fact that this was not gonna look good. And hindsight is very much 2020, but I jumped into this project and I started going at it, and it was looking very, very pretty. I loved how it was looking. I thought I was doing a fairly good job with it. The colors were nice. The pattern was very pretty. It was all looking good. And then when I came back about 24 hours later, after all the paint was dry, I took it out and I realized I hated it, and you will see why. So I just completely scrapped this idea. First off, it didn't fit the frame. So that was my biggest issue. It didn't fit the frame. The second thing was that it looked very splotchy in some areas where I didn't get enough paint down, so I didn't like how that looked. And then the third thing that just drove me up a wall, honestly, because of OCD, was that my lines were crooked. I thought I was doing a pretty good job when I was putting the lines down, but apparently I was not doing as good of a job as I initially thought, because when I looked at this, I realized how crooked and uneven my lines were, and that was just unacceptable. I was not happy with that, and I said no. And then I went into panic mode. I was thinking to myself, what am I gonna do? It's like, I need to get this video up. I have filmed everything, and it's like, I have nothing to show for it, honestly. It's like, I don't know what to do. So at the end of this, I just decided, I kind of threw up my hands. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna freehand something. And that's exactly what I did. I live in Texas, and right now it is wildflower season. So I decided I was going to freehand some wildflowers. I just jumped in with some blue bonnets, red Indian paint brushes, Spanish hats, Indian blankets, what I call rain lilies. They're these little white flowers that pop up after a big rainstorm. I just threw that all together onto this glass after I stripped all the old paint off of it and just freehanded something. It didn't turn out as nice as I was hoping, honestly. It's up in my window now in my studio. It's actually right here in this window, but I still did not like how it looked. And honestly, I wanted, at the end of this all, I kind of just was like, I'm just gonna have to do a whole different video. I'm just gonna have to do a coloring page video or something, but I didn't want to. So this is just a video reminder for you. If you are struggling as an artist, that something is not looking right, that it's okay. I promise it's okay, it's okay. I scrapped this project like 2 times before I got to the 3rd one, and I still don't like it. Faux stained glass is just not for me. This was a project that was a lot more of a challenge than I was initially thinking it was going to be. I thought this was gonna be super easy. It's paint. How can you go wrong with paint? But if you're me, apparently you can go very, very wrong. So this was not exactly the project for me personally. I didn't enjoy it as much as I was thinking I was going to. Honestly, I think real stained glass would have actually been better for this project, honestly. But that will have to be for another day. But I guess I am not going to be doing faux stained glass in my house after all. I think I will just have to try out real stained glass for the next time and see if that goes better than this one. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this faux stained glass. You can see it in my background right here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I might have to attempt this project again, see if I actually do a good job. Maybe this was all user error and that I need a lot more practice with this. Honestly, yes, I do know that. I do know I need a lot more practice with this. So that will have to be for another video for another time. But honestly, I am so busy right now that I don't think I'll be able to do that. So anyway, that's going to do it for me in the studio here today. Thank y'all so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye, y'all.